use split squat to get a bigger booty. So let's chat about it.
Don't you want to look good naked?
When it comes to split squats, there are tons of different variations you can do. This is all going to depend on what you're targeting. So if we're doing split squats to target our glutes, we want to make sure that we are focused on flexing more at the hip. And that's going to occur by leaning forward a little bit and getting that stretch through your glute and keeping that shin vertical so that you have less output coming from your quads. So something to think about is with split squats, it's never going to be, oh, it's only my glutes working or it's only my quads working. They're both going to be working at the same time. However, our setup and execution can help us to bias one over the other. So with that glute setup, just make sure that you are leaning forward a little bit, creating that vertical shin, versus with a quad focused split squat, that's gonna be more thinking about bending at the knee and creating as much knee flexion as possible. So with a quad focused split squat, you'll probably have your front foot elevated on something or your front heel elevated on something, and think about pushing your knee forward over your toes and closing that gap between your calves and your hamstrings. When you're setting up for your split squats, you wanna make sure that you're not sort of on like a tightrope, right? So this is a mistake I see a lot of people make with split squats and lunges, is that your feet are too close together, so you're having a little bit of a difficulty balancing, right? So instead of thinking about a tightrope, think more so like train tracks, right? Keep your legs more so kind of shoulder hip width apart, and then step one leg forward. Don't bring it too close into your midline to create that imbalance. So when you're choosing your split squat variation, just make sure that you know what you're trying to bias. Again, you're not gonna be just using your glutes or just using your quads, but from your setup and your positioning of both your front and back foot or leg, you can determine which one you're biasing. Women, we believe